Hello and welcome to more nerdy rodent geekery. What am I looking at today? Well, it's ConSinGAN. What's that? Well, let's have a little look here. We examine and recommend new techniques for training GANs on a single image. Ooh, okay, that's interesting. So no more collecting thousands of images for your data set and squaring them off and putting them in different directories and stuff. No, we've got one image, single image generation. That's what we're doing. Fantastic. So got a little example here in this picture as your training and some of the generated pictures there. Look quite weird, don't they? Right, so installation, pretty easy. Needs a couple of things. Pip install -r requirements.txt. Couple of things is actually quite large, so it does take a few minutes to install, but yeah, that's fine. And then you can get on with training and generation. So there's two basic scripts in here. The main train.py, which has various training modes, and also down here the evaluate. So once you've trained a particular model, then you can evaluate it. So I've got the default one there from their training paper, so of course I've completely ignored that and done my own just to see what they come out like. So I've got a couple of images, COVID-19 and some flowers, so I've got those in my images, and the first one is generation. So there's the flowers, which I chose because it's, you know, it looks like that. It hasn't got a central focus, and it's just got loads of things going on everywhere, whereas this one has quite a clear central focus. So those look like quite interesting images. Now, when you train those and you get your model, then you can evaluate them. So I did a couple of different types of model there. So you've got generation, retarget, animation, and I also varied the learning rate on a couple of them. Kept the training stages as 5 because, yeah, reasons. And then I evaluated them. Now the evaluation is a lot quicker. That only took a couple of minutes, and when you have evaluated them, they pop out into your trained models directory in an evaluation directory. So this is the first one here, for example, with the COVID-19. We've got an animation. That's what an animated GIF looks like. So there it's got scale 0, alpha 0.1, beta 0.8, and that's basically the highest amount of motion, and as these change, the motion gets less and less. That's an example of an animation. And in here we've got retrain. So this is where it, retarget even. So this is where it specialises in changing the height and width. So this is 2x2. This is double. So there's a there's generation sample 24. So they're quite weird. It's a double-sized COVID, so yeah, they're quite strange. And then we've got height 2, width 1, so this is a lot longer there. Ooh. And then of course the other way, so we've got width 2 and height 1. Looks quite strange, doesn't it? So that's the retarget model. Now, if you don't use the retarget model, this is that first one, generation, and they look like this. So this is, again, the double size, height and width 2. Ooh, it's quite a bit different, isn't it? It seems to have these sort of strange corners to it. Or, if we look at, again, the height 2, width 1, that's pretty strange stuff going on there. And again the other way, height 1, width 2. Yeah, pretty strange that one, isn't it? Pretty strange. So that seems to work quite well. Lots of really weird samples going on there. And then with the flowers, so I've got some flowers animations here. There's the most animated flowers. That's not quite as good. It's a little bit weird, and a slower version of it. Have a little zoom in there. You can see it is moving. I mean, that's slightly better. It's strange, isn't it? Strange. And what other model have I got here? The retarget. Okay, so the different heights and widths. We retarget those flowers. They look, yeah, that's very strange, isn't it? You can see how it's made a sort of box in the middle, and then You know, it's like a box with a border. Seems to have created that. Let's have a look at the other ones. They've got a height 2 there. Yeah. And obviously the width 2 as well. All very strange. Of course, I changed the learning rate on that, so that was the 16 and that one's the 0.32. So that was quite strange. Right, let's have a look at some of the other things. So if we scroll down, so we had a look at image animation, it can also do harmonization. So with harmonized image, you've also got main train and evaluate model. Obviously this time the training mode is harmonization, and that one takes about 5 to 10 minutes. Now that one you don't pass a naive image in, whereas this one you do when you're doing the evaluation, but that's the 3-stage there. You can also do this different one here, a fine-tuning model, which says if you've already got it. So in this one you're doing the main train, but you're also passing in the naive image at the same time as well. So rather than doing model and then throwing in naive afterwards, you're throwing it in at the same time. I did this one because I wanted to, you know, have a go on lots of different pictures and things. So the two I tried for harmonization are Katsushika and Vincent van Gogh. So if we have a little look over here, we've got the Van Gogh there. So there's the real image. I basically threw a couple of trees in and put a spaceman hat on, and there's tree variant as well. So there's the real tree, there's the fake tree, the Vincent van Gogh one, there's the space helmet variant. Oops, get these around the right way eventually. There you go, space helmet. So it's real, that's harmonized. So it just changes the colouring a little bit. Didn't give it a mask. The same with the tree, so I didn't give that a mask. That's the normal tree, and there's the harmonized tree. So it sort of changes the style of the tree a little bit. And the same thing with the Katsushika. Again, in the evaluate directory, tried it with a tree and then made a different tree. So yeah, that's harmonization. So you can add a little bit in and sort of put it through the same sort of style. And then the next thing is editing. Again, you've got a main train and an evaluate. Training mode is obviously editing there, and you can do the training without the naive, so just inputting your single image, or with the naive as well. You can do a fine tune there, even though you're doing a train. The evaluate model there, you pass in the naive, assuming you've got a trained one. So there you've got the training image, the naive 6 stages, and a fine tune. Now these need masks as well, really, and basically you just call it underscore mask. So there isn't you don't pass the mask in. There isn't a minus mask. You just literally call it underscore mask. So for their examples there, you know, there's a tree edit mask, and they just want that bit in white, and then that's what happens. It only affects that bit. So what I did was this Audsley. There's my image editing Audsley. So that's what I trained the model on, and then I did an Audsley edit. So I copied those 2 bits there, and then I did a mask, which is basically just a circle in the middle. So when I then did the evaluation on that one, train models and Audsley, there's the editing, there's the evaluation. There's the real image, which is strangely blurry, and there's the edit. That's the edit with a mask. You can see that's quite clear around the edges, and then the mask bit in the middle has been changed. And then without mask, it's gone a bit more weird around the edges. So yeah, so there you go. That's all the stuff in there. All the different train models. Single image GAN. Enjoy. Rodent out.